And yes, in 2 weeks, I sold those 3 villas. I mean, it was over 1 million.
You don't have something like with more million in it?
Unfortunately, yes. The commission was over million for this. So agents tend to give you these tricks of the trade, to help you negotiate and buying a property quicker, easier, and no hassle. She wanted to buy 5 meters away from where she's living. The first thing I told her, don't let the owner see you coming out from your house. I did paid ads. We had 20,000 people seeing this advert and I didn't have one call. I sent them the screenshot. Photos are super, the location is super, the only thing I'm seeing is the price.
And
because
this is the Jean Calleja advice.
Do you think you have any maybe funny stories or some weird situations that you want to share with us?
I can write a book.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to one more episode of Depiro Street. I am Ingrid Souza, and here with me Zach and Tristan, and our special guest, Jean Calleja. Welcome, Jean.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me here. I appreciate it.
All right, Jean. So tell us more about yourself.
So, I'm Jean Calleja. I've been into real estate for the past 10 years now. Now I am a franchise owner. We have 2 shops, one in Sweetie. We're going to St. Julian's now to a bigger office. And obviously Depiro, and Regis is my partner in this project. And
this project is just the beginning.
yes, basically.
We only have heavy guests, right? Welcome, John.
I specialize more into sales, but I also take care of the operation of both offices.
And how did it start, John?
All right, so started a long time ago. I don't know exactly when. My first try was when I was really young, 20-year-old. I had an interview with a company, with a real estate agency company, and unfortunately I wasn't chosen.
So you take a good revenge.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then my career was more into biology and chemistry. I was sciences. I was into research and development. And I was like, I'm not going to do 50 years wearing a lab coat here. In the meantime, I always was my hobby was doing organizing events, getting DJs in Malta.
You were a DJ in Malta?
I was a DJ, but I was more...
Oh, what?
I was more into organization. So then I was taking care of a club. And one of the owners was a real estate agent. And he was telling me, listen, why don't you do it full part-time with us? And I started part-time. Then I did my first deal, second deal, third deal. And then I took it off full-time. I did... Because obviously then...
1, 2, 3 deals.
You start getting the money.
I want to hear it because of the money.
This in sales, it's different, unfortunately, because sales you have to take. It takes time for you to start getting the money. Usually, before it used to be 3 months, and you get once you sell it, a property, it takes 3 months until you get paid when the contract is done. Some 6 months, and obviously until you start getting the money, obviously you have to have another income. So I started part-time. After 3 months, I sold my first property, second, third, and then obviously you start getting the feel about it.
So you already had the sales skills, or you needed to learn?
I had skills in sales, but I didn't have any skills in selling a property.
Okay. So you learned during 3 months, and after you close your first deal.
Yes. My first deal was very, very unique because at that time, my office was in Slima. And it was a second viewing in San Juan. It was raining and I didn't have my car. And our administrator gave me an umbrella, and it was a pink umbrella. Pink umbrella, walking in the rain from Slima to San Juan. But telling you the truth, I didn't care about no one looking at me. I just wanted to close it.
Just thinking about money.
And I still remember it. It was a solitary maisonette in the beach, and we closed it.
A pink umbrella and a dream. I will close my first.
There is 20 days of rain in Malta a year, but I'm going to close my first.
Listen, I always see that viewings are like lottery tickets. And lottery tickets, in this case, the chance to win is much better. The odds are much better than winning the lottery. Of course. It's always nearly 50-50. You either like it or you don't like it. So
you have to answer yes or no.
Did you face any difficulties in this beginning?
Yes, in fact, it was a bit difficult because obviously this is something new for you. And you're always doing trial and error. Obviously, I had a very supportive manager who was guiding me and telling me what to do. And every day, my mission was to try to be better than the day before. So trying to find ways how I can be better, trying different methods. If they work, I progress on them. I try to make them better. So yes, in the beginning it was difficult for me. I mean, the first 3 months were very, very difficult. I was like, am I doing the right choice here? You know, because sales is more difficult, and I understand why. Because the clients are gonna buy their first property.
They put a lot of money on the table, so of course.
You know. Letting is different. Why? Because the commitment is just for 1 year. And if you would like to change, you can change. Here, you are buying your future.
And you need to let the property to live in Malta. So sometimes you are in the URI, even if it's not perfect or whatever.
And most people commit with a loan. So
of course,
they do their whole life paying it off.
So yes, they have to see properties. And they choose the best one.
There is a point you was struggling more than another one, like something you think about, like during 1 month, 2 months, you was like, fuck, this shit I can't do it, like it's difficult for me, I have to...
You feel the pressure when you do not sell for a long time. But I was finding a lot of methods where obviously they were not in favor of the policies that there was. In fact, they invented warnings and fines because of what I was doing. But at that time, there weren't policies, so I took advantage of that, you know. No, for example, nothing. I will call the owner, I'll tell him, listen, the property is 450K with us. How negotiable are you? He tells me 400, I will close it with the agency fee. So I'll just promote it at 4 to 5. No one is promoting it at 4 to 5, only me. I was promoting it.
You got all the
and obviously clients were coming to me. Then obviously they changed the policy that if in the website it's 4 to 5, it should be 4 to 5 when you promote it. So then obviously they ruined my plan. And I had to find other ways to try to sell and be better than others, obviously.
So as they fucked up your plan with this policy, I guess you should have like better skills to be a better salesman.
Yes, obviously then I had to find other ways to get the attention, you know. One of the things which I saw works best was photos. For example, I had an experience. There was a property that has been in the market for 1 year. It was in Malta, I remember. And my friend wanted to see it. And the photos were really ugly. And I was, obviously, she is my friend, so I had some confidence talking to her and being a bit blunt because she's my friend, not just an agent. So I was supporting her more. And I told her, listen, you want to see this property. I mean, you don't see the photos, they're not nice. Obviously, if you want to see it.
I'm doing it a lot in letting. I don't send the photo, I go to the place, take a video, and I say, oh, you want to come and see this place? That's the trick.
This time I didn't see the property before because she had chosen it and she told me, Jean, can we go see it? And so we went to see it and it was amazing.
Wow.
It was really nice. It was 350K at that time, but it was a bit unconverted, so my friend didn't buy it. But as soon as
you changed the photo
while I was talking, while the client was seeing the property, I was talking to the owner. I told her, here all you need is photos.
Yeah.
Let's do a very professional photo shoot because photos are gonna attract more viewings for you. And we decided also to do some booklets so that every client that comes will have a booklet, a brochure, where after the viewing he can remember the property. Anyway, and they were ordered and everything, but the photos were ready before. As soon as I started promoting with the new photos, after 2 weeks, it got sold full price. And the brochures were not even ready. Yeah. So I just threw the brochures away. So yes, photos make a big difference.
And it was available for a year?
It was available for a year, no one bought it. As soon as we changed the photos, we sold it in 2 weeks, full price.
Yes.
Photos.
Anything else besides the photos, John, that you would say that are your secrets to do good sellings?
When I like a property, obviously from experience, you will know that the property is well priced, the location is in a very good location, and everything. Sometimes the price wouldn't be the good one. Everyone tries to get as much as they can, and obviously I don't blame them. Some people will be in a rush and they will put the price a bit better, and sometimes they are not in a rush, so they try their luck. And what I do is I see the potential, I start doing paid adverts on it, start doing social media on it, and I don't get viewings, I don't get any requests, and I will go to the owner, I'll tell them, listen, I did paid ads, we had 20,000 people seeing this advert and I didn't have one call. I send them the screenshot, photos are super, the location is super, the only thing I'm seeing is the price. I mean, I don't know how much in a hurry you are to sell the place, but from the statistics that I'm showing you, it shows that the price is the thing that we need to change. So sometimes they change it, sometimes they don't, but they feel they appreciate this thing from us, because
after the photo, the best thing is to convince to show to the owner that for you have to find a good price. So that's your role when you put something on the web.
Yes. So you tell them, listen, photos are very nice. Description is nice, people are liking it, but we're not having any viewings, any inquiries. So obviously,
at this time, the only point is the price, of course. Yeah.
Sometimes they reduce it. Sometimes they'll tell me, no, I would like to wait a bit more, And then obviously, if the price is not changed, you stop working on it. I mean, since you had 20,000 people and no one.
So it's wasting of time.
Spoke to you, you go into another property.
And you are talking as a professional, John, that both owners and clients rely on, because they listen to you and they take your word as advice.
Listen, I mean, when you say owner and client, that's why the agent is important, because the agent is removing all the emotion from this. For the owner, he's selling the property, and for the client, he's buying the first property or the second property. So The agent is the mediator, sorry. He's the mediator. So the owner can say something which the client doesn't like, how he talks, So it's better you have the agent who can hear the both sides and try to negotiate better, So I think that's why an agent is needed. In fact, I had a lot of clients who they saw direct from owner, but they preferred calling me to negotiate the price. Because they see that the value of an agent. In fact, one of the properties I sold, she was living here and she wanted to buy 5 meters away from where she's living. The first thing I told her, don't let the owner see you coming out from your house. Why? Because obviously, if she's living next to the property that she wants to buy, she will know that she wants it, and she will not negotiate.
He will be hard on the price because he knows that she wants it because she's already living there. She wants to stay in the same location. No.
And she told me why, and I told her. So agents tend to give you these tricks of the trade, to help you negotiate and go into the progress of this of promise of sale, of buying a property quicker, easier, and no hassle-free.
So since you started when you were around 24, which ones do you consider that were your best achievements?
All right. Actually, there were 2 which I really remember quite well. Basically, there was a nice block, and I was like, let me see what there is available in this block. And I was seeing all prices going 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6. And then I see one which was just 1.1. And I was like, how come? And this is the difference when I was saying owners can be desperate to sell or not in a rush to sell. And when I saw that, I was already thinking that this guy needs to sell very quickly. But the photos weren't good. So I went with him, I spoke to him. We organized a professional photo shoot and I started promoting it. The cheapest apartment in this unique block. And I had 2 clients, I remember, who were interested. Unfortunately, both were interested, but one of them gave better conditions, etc., and he bought it from myself. And obviously, I had to give the bad news to the other client. I told him, I'm sorry, but it was sold, etc., etc. If something new comes up, I will let you know. After 2 weeks, a 1.3 million property came on the market at that place. I offered it to him, and he bought it. So in 2 weeks, I sold 2 at 1.2, 1.3.
How much commission on it?
No comment.
No comment.
But it was full agency fee.
Nice.
Another one was, I was searching the database and I was seeing 3 villas, which were just 350k. And I was like, how come? And this is not now, obviously. This is 10 years ago when villas were much cheaper.
250 each? Or
yes,
in
each.
Wow.
So another million on the
And
table.
I was like, what is the catch? Does it have a ground rent or we will go into that in the future? And I got to know that these 3 villas are built on a showroom. So you have a street, you have the showroom, on top of the showroom, these 3 villas, and you have another street.
Okay.
So obviously they were cheaper because they were on a showroom. Some people wouldn't like that, and some people
Don't
would.
care. Yeah.
Obviously, in Malta, we have a lot of people, And obviously you're going to find people who would take it. They were with a pool. You can either do the pool in the backyard or on the roof. At that time, people were also doing pools on the roof. And I went to my manager, and I was like, look at these 3 villas, how cheap they are. I'm going to promote them, blah, blah, blah. And he told, after like 30 minutes, he told me, Jean, I'm interested, the manager, I'm interested in buying one of them. And obviously he chose the best one.
Of course.
Because it was nearly fully detached, just from the garage. And after 2 weeks, I sold the other 2. And I was using my manager. I was telling them, my manager bought it, this one of them. So
as a selling point.
I mean,
it's a selling
it's just
point, you know.
perfect.
So you should, if my manager bought it,
You should
you
do
know
it.
it's a very
It's a good deal,
price.
yeah.
One of them was my friend, and he wasn't believing me. And I
So you go knock on the door.
called my manager. I told him, speak to him. And
Okay, I
he
buy
bought it. And yes, in 2 weeks, I sold those 3 villas. I mean, so it was over $1 million.
And
1
how long
million.
ago was it?
I'd say
10 years?
8 years ago.
8 years.
How
something
much
like
do you think that villas worth?
Now there was one for sale, 750,000.
Yeah, the bird one.
But
Yeah.
unfortunately, it hadn't been sold yet.
Yeah.
As I said, at 350K, the fact that it's on top of a showroom, it doesn't make that much of a difference. But now that we're talking about 750K,
But still, maybe it was more than.
you know, some people will. I mean, maybe the price is still not, it should be maybe a bit less, but it will get sold, I'm sure. Because you don't find villas 700, 750 nowadays. I mean, they would either be unconverted, so...
So after the best achievement that you had, is there any negotiations or any deal that you missed that
Yes.
you want to mention?
There were more like that.
Unfortunately.
It's always like that. I mean, listen, once you do a deal, it's rewarding enough. I mean, if you have a normal job and you're getting 1,200 a month, for example, I mean, you close one, you're getting 6,000. So
Yeah, sure.
it's not gonna be that easy, you
So
know.
it's the game to miss something.
Yes.
You
So
don't miss, you learn.
the worst one was my biggest one. It was gonna be my biggest one as a villa. That basically, I had a client who had sold theirs to clients, and they were looking to downsize because their villa was too big. It was in Santa Maria State. They were growing old, and it was too big for them. So first they were thinking of buying a penthouse, but they wanted to stay in Santa Maria State. And I found them a smaller one. We did the promise of sale. Their clients were already gave the deposit. So it was, everyone was seeing that it was going to be a smooth deal, because who bought their property already gave the deposit, and that gave peace of mind to the owner who my clients are gonna buy from him. And this is very important. I will come to that. So we signed, and we did it subject that my clients will sell theirs. But then we got to know that my clients, their house, they had to regularize it with MAPA. They had some irregularities, and they had to get an architect to obviously
To fix it.
fix it and make it all legal.
Okay.
So obviously, to sell the property, they had to have everything according to MAPA.
In order, yeah.
They applied and everything, and they only needed another month for the PA to approve it. So they went to the clients. The clients told them, listen, we need another month extension for the contract, so the permit will be approved. Obviously,
During this
the client had a change of heart. He didn't give them the extension, and obviously everything fell through. And this was a 3 million property. So my clients didn't sell their property, and my clients didn't buy the property I
they were gonna
showed
buy.
them.
So nobody did
So
it.
guys, so owners, when you're gonna sell a property, always see that the property is regularized with MAPA and everything.
And
Because
this is the Jean Calleja advice. So
Yeah.
please listening it.
because the thing is, in a promise of sale, clients can force you to do another 1 month extension by law, but owners cannot. So this what happens. You have to have, once you put your property for sale, you have to see that it is within MAPA regularization. And like that, you have peace of mind, and something like this doesn't happen. Because if it doesn't give you an extension, then everything will fall through, and you would have wasted 6 months, 8 months for
And
nothing.
nobody had money on it.
That's it, basically. That's one of the worst. And obviously, I feel sorry for the owner of the villa that I was gonna sell, because obviously now he has to find someone else to buy it.
You spoke now for 1, 2, 3 million. You don't have something like with more million in it?
Unfortunately, yes. So basically, like 2 years ago, I was introduced with a Chinese representative, and she was representing a big investor in China, Singapore to be exact. She told me that they were like 5 to 6 businessmen. They formed a company, and they were trying to invest in other countries. And she came here in Malta to see if there can be some type of investments. And I was checking with her, I was saying what type of budgets you were. She told me unlimited budget. And I took it with a pinch of salt. You know, I mean, let's see what's going to happen. And there was a very big project which was valued at over 100 million. And I offered it to her.
From 3 to 100 million.
Yes, I mean, they wanted these type of projects,
Yeah.
you know. I was taking her to see presentations of these big projects, so she gets more knowledge about Malta. In fact, one of the presentations, they were telling us that we had apartments selling for 5 times. So the same apartment being sold 5 times. So the demand was there. Big projects were selling. So it shouldn't be. I was giving her peace of mind. I also did a business plan for this project, and the amounts were over 300 million profits. The hotel was gonna be a really big brand hotel, and the whole lot.
You would retire after this.
Of
deal.
course. The commission was over 7 million for
Oh
this.
Crazy.
And obviously I would have got the listings exclusive because I was working with this client. So there would be an office in this project selling the property, so it would have been a dream come true.
One deal.
What a
Yes.
dream.
After a lot of work, but one deal and bam.
But obviously we did the business plan, we gave all the information to these investors, but they didn't have peace of mind, and I can understand them. I mean, this is 100 million plus project, so you need more peace of mind.
Yeah.
So their proposal was that they would find someone who buys 80 to 90 apartments beforehand. So like that, they know that at least once they sign, they know that 90 apartments have been already sold. Even if they are cheaper, they make profit out of it, but at least they
They have to
know
be sold.
that they sold 90 apartments. The person who was selling the site already had over 200 people who were registering interest. So even with that, they didn't have peace of mind. We didn't find someone who would buy 90 apartments because these are over $1 million each. So it's very difficult. So I tried to find another solution where I find them a partner, a Maltese partner, who would finish it, build it, finish it, and everything. I found him. I found this person. He was ready to build it for them, finish it for them, and do the whole lot, and they will be equal partners. But unfortunately for them, it wasn't enough peace of mind. And everything fell through, basically.
Oh, gosh.
Sometimes you will think, was it real? Was this person wasting my time? You never know about these
How long
things.
time
But
did it take?
obviously, if you don't try, it will always, you'll not succeed. So it took me a year. I learned a lot, but unfortunately, it didn't happen.
Yeah. At least
So-
you don't lose everything you learn.
So that was a big.
I didn't want to learn. I
Disappointment.
want to close.
But it gave me a very nice experience, and it's not as people think that because it's 100 million property, it's nearly the same thing, just a bit of more work, like doing the business plan, like taking her for presentations and the whole lot. So there wasn't a lot of extra thing. It's like this as a normal property, a bit more difficult, but the price tag is what it is.
So now that we spoke about your best achievements, your greatest misses, do you think you have any maybe funny stories or some weird situations that you want to share with us?
I can write a book on all of these experiences. I remember one. It was in my first year, and a friend of mine gave me a really nice property to list. It was over 3 million, and I was promoting it. I was like, maybe I'll find someone for it. And a guy speaks to me. He tells me, Jean, I would like to see it, etc., etc. And we did the viewing. I saw him a bit young. He was telling me that his family owns a lot of restaurants, and a very big famous guy in Malta showed him villas in Madlina. So it was 50-50 for me. I didn't know if I should believe him or not.
So you weren't sure about him?
About him. It was my first year, so you are more interested that you had a viewing of a 3 million property rather than seeing these things. And he was telling me that he likes it and everything, and he might do an offer and the whole lot. And he told me, listen, I would like to come and see it again. And we went to see it again. And he was, after the viewings, the second viewing, he told me, they want 3.6. I told him, yes. He told me, give them 3.2. And I was like, oh my God, stop,
Your
stop,
eyes started
stop.
to light.
And we were still in the property, and I went to them. I told them, listen, he offered 3.2 million. Think about it and let me know. And days passed, etc. And they were negotiating. And he was fighting with me. Jean tried to get me the cheapest price possible. I will pay part cash, etc., etc. And we managed to go to a 3.4 million price. And he was happy about it. He told me, okay, Jean, now I have to go to America for 3 weeks. He told me, and we can sign after. I told him, okay, no problem, I understand, but I think we should give them a deposit. So it stays on hold until you come back.
Yeah.
And he told me, okay, how much do they want? 100,000? And from there, I was also again doubting him. I mean, 100,000 to keep it on hold. It was too far-fetched. And he told me tomorrow, this week, whatever, I will pay. I will send them the money. I called the next day. He tells me, because the restaurant, I was very late, so I didn't manage. Their day for day, and nothing happens. Then I was like, how am I gonna know if this guy is real or not? And I remember him telling me about this guy who showed him a property.
Yeah, the
in
professional
Madinah.
guy, right?
Yes. And I didn't know him that much, but I was like, let me call him. And I told him, listen, my name is Jean Calleja, I'm a real estate agent, I'm showing a property to this person, and I was wondering maybe if you can give me some information about him to see if he's serious, because obviously I have responsibility for the owners too.
Yeah.
I mean, they're thinking that this is gonna be a deal and done and everything.
And we spoke about
And
3.4 million.
Of course. And he told me, what's his name? And so I told him, this guy, blah, blah, blah. And he started laughing. I told him, what happened? He told me, that guy, I hired him 3 weeks ago as a dishwasher. And I was surprised, shocked, and I was feeling pity. I mean, this guy, his imagination, he can be the next Steven Spielberg. And so,
He had nothing to do with this then.
And I didn't know how to confront the owners. I mean, I
Sorry,
felt
sorry, I get
unprofessional. It was the beginning of my
Career, you can
career.
say, yeah.
Next time I should have called this guy from the beginning. But anyway, so yes, I can write a book.
I will be the first one
Experiences.
to read this one.
Yeah,
For sure.
exactly. Imagine 20 years of great stories here, John, right? My God.
Thank you for having me here.
There were so many more things that we would like to know.
Yeah, I
Yes,
still
yes.
have a lot of questions for you, John.
Yes.
Yes.
About,
They
like,
step by step of buying a property,
market.
the market in
lot of
other
thing, yeah.
countries in Europe.
Of course, we can
So-
do that in the next one. No
I think
problem.
I think if
So
if
we
you
will
are
have
here,
a
we'll
next one, part 2.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not?
Why not? So if you also want to know about the part 2 here with Jean Calleja, thank you, John.
And
Thank you.
if you have some question for Jean Calleja too, don't hesitate to put them like that. We can maybe answer you and help you for your project to buy
Of course.
something.
Of course.
Let
That's
us
why
know.
we're here.
Don't forget to follow us on social medias, Instagram, TikTok, and on YouTube. If you want part 2, comment as well that we will come back here with Jean Calleja with more questions with him. Thanks, John. Thanks,
welcome.
guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
John.